Hello, my name is Jennifer and welcome to my speed build of a base game shell. Now this base game shell is up on the gallery for anyone to furnish, and I am planning on doing a video that will tour any submitted homes, and that video will be up on Wednesday, July 3rd, 2019, and they are due on the gallery by the end of the day, June 26th, 2019, a week before. Now, there is no budget. Basement is optional to furnish, no custom content. The floor plan can be altered, and you can either furnish it for my Sims, who I have here and I'll explain more in detail later, or for your own Sims. And it does need to be base game plus one pack of your choosing or base game only. Now, for the brothers I have, who I created the house for, they have been given the house and the fact that it'll be furnished by their parents, and they're just starting out. And one, Bradley, is a genius, a geek, and a bookworm, and he wants to be a computer whiz. And the other one wants to be a novelist, and he is also a bookworm, but he is creative and a family-oriented sim. So here we go with the start of the speed build, which you would have had a quick little view of it at the very beginning in the screenshot when I was coming in, but I did, yeah, it is single. I played with the idea of making the walls tall, but in the end I just didn't really like the way the house looked. Now this basement is completely open. As I said, it's optional to furnish the basement, but I put some lights in just so that you can see it, but you can change the lights, you can change any of that. That's just so it looks like you can see what's there on the gallery when you put it up, because otherwise it's pitch black and you can't see anything in there. So this is a 2-bedroom and 2-bathroom home, but there is like a little like solarium type area off the front. I was kind of envisioning that being for the brother who likes to paint, that it might be well, he's a novelist, but the creative sim who might want to also do some painting as well as writing, that might be a little creative area, or it could just be like a seating area, but it is off of the one bedroom and not the other bedroom. It could also just be like that's the master's bedroom with a sort of little room off of it with the ensuite beside it, and then the other room is like a child's room if you want to make it for your own Sims and not have it be for the two brothers that I kind of created it for. That's why the solarium has all the windows there, and then I put some in the back there because that was what I was envisioning as being an eating area for like the kitchen table and whatnot, or a dining room table, whatever, because they're you know, the eat-in area in the kitchen. So, and there is actually has been a fireplace already added to it, but I mean, you could say that the Sims gutted it and took the fireplace out. But there is one in there. But like I said, anything inside can be changed, including if you want to adjust the floor plan a little bit to your suiting, to how it suits you, that is also fine. So here I am doing a skylight, which is one of my favorite things, to add some extra light into the house. You do need to have your settings on like higher. It might even have to be on ultra. Mine are on ultra, but for the light to come in nicely. But it can add quite a lot of light to the house by having that skylight. So you'll see the roof is in like a few pieces. So to get that skylight there, you need like 3 in the middle and then the 2 on either side to be able to like cover it up, because I don't want it going like all the way down. I want it sort of, you know, just the top part. And I did toy with the idea of making these, like the solarium and the eating area have skylights, but when I was playing with it, which you don't see here, it didn't really work out, so I left it not with a skylight. It just looked odd. So this is how it is instead. And then the trim here, you'll see it's a different color than the final product. It ends up being white, because when I took a look at it at the end, I decided I preferred white to it because the windows are white, and I tried to look for a color that would sort of match that, but then the other windows are white and blue, which there's a blue in the house, and they didn't have anything. The only way to keep it sort of more consistent was to make it all white. So hopefully when we get more swatches, there's a little bit more that we can do with the windows. I'm hoping that some things like that will also get windows and doors and things like that adjusted when that eventually comes out. That would be lovely. So we'll see. Like I said, I wasn't planning on doing another base game shell build until that came out, but then I figured that, you know, by making this base game only, it would open it up to anybody. If you only have base game, then you can participate. Unfortunately, if you're on the gallery, on console, you can't, but anyone who has access to the gallery can obviously participate in this. And so here I'm doing the, some landscaping, and I've been trying not to use move objects, and landscaping is where I struggle to not use move objects, but this doesn't use move objects, so you won't need to worry about whether you have it on or off when you're putting it down. So, that's just kind of how I did it, but it was a little bit harder, like I said, to do landscaping without move objects. But I used Alt, so it lets you help you like slide things in a little bit closer, but some things fit better together than other things. Some of the plants fit very nicely together because, just how they're designed, that you can sort of snug them in a little bit, but other ones don't so much. It kind of really depends. Like you can see there, I end up going for those pale yellow flowers. That's what that is. But then I changed this up a little bit. And even the front porch, there was sort of gray there in the railing. I turned that all into white to make the accents all white in the end. And just some hedges. So if you're doing a mansion baron, it's not going to make it, but it definitely has the money for the landscaping is definitely there, going to meet it already. And there I decided to put, instead of using those, I use some flowers along that whole side. And then, of course, at the very end, I'm going to go in and add a lot of the terrain paints to add the color. But after I do all of this and I look inside, I realize that some of the flowers are going through. And even you can see there, the fence is there, and the hedge is going through the fence. So I go through and I use the Alt key and try and drag everything out a little bit. And in those cases, I actually have to shrink the flowers because I can't get them far enough out with move objects off to be able to not have that sticking through. But I accidentally went the wrong way. You might have seen that go big and then small. But yeah, so that's what I did with that. And I just sort of, I think I tweaked this a little bit because at the very end, after I did this build in the video, which we're not there, I'll maybe talk about that when we get there instead. And I'm trying not to use the eyedropper key because I have it so that I'm only seeing base game, but as soon as you use the eyedropper key, then it will show everything again, and you have to put the filter on, which isn't as big a deal when you're only doing base game, but if you're trying to do like base game plus a few packs, then it's a little harder because then you have to go through and select more than just one thing being base game. So there, there's a little tree up there. I really want to get some more plants closer to that tree there to have like a little flower garden around it, but without move objects, I couldn't really get in quite as close as I wanted to, unfortunately. So, it kind of is what it is. And you could snug them in better in those areas where you didn't have like just one grid square. So the flowers at the front are not as close as I might have liked them to be, but they're fine. And it is what it is. I also don't like to play with move objects on because I find I get things stuck in walls, dishes in particular, because I am one who tends to drag the dishes into the garbage or to the sink instead of making my Sims do it, and then I'll accidentally get them stuck in the sink, which isn't so good. But so here the fence I changed to white, like the fence that's on the post, I changed that to white, and I'm adding some landscaping here at the back, and I am using like the shrink key just to have like the 3 hedges there to be not so tall back to back. That column changes to something different, and then it changes to be white, but the white part goes again off camera because that was all when I was doing it at the end. I realized I didn't like sort of the gray at the top and the white elsewhere, and it just brightened it up a little bit. So I just adding a little bit of lighting here so that they have some light. I don't know how much light they actually do provide because I never did take some pictures at night. And here I'm about to do a little garden area because I love my gardens, and you won't see this here, but there are some plants in that garden because I have a room saved in my library. It's not actually on the gallery, and I grabbed some plants out of there, but I made sure that they were only base game plants. The plants are from other games too, because I have some from seasons in there and some from Outdoor Retreat, but this only has base game plants in this house since it's a base game build. And this changes a little bit because at the back, which is what I started to say before, I realized that it would be nice to have a gate going out from the back. So right in the middle, there'll be a gate, and I moved the hedges over and the flowers a little bit just to make enough space for there to be one. But again, I did that off camera when I was sort of taking a look and taking some screenshots at it. I realized that I preferred to have that, which is why you didn't see it, as it was when I was taking screenshots after I had done the build already. And little bonsai tree for the Sims to practice, and you can learn gardening on that. And if you happen to have seasons, you will also learn flower arranging on it. And a chess table, since one of the brothers is a genius. But I tend to like to have chess tables in general, even if you have kids in the house. They often, you know, if you're doing the aspiration, the whiz kid aspiration, then you need to have they need to play chess. You don't need to have a chess table, because you can go to the park, you go to the library. There are chess tables elsewhere that you can use. So it's definitely not necessary. I just find it handy and convenient to do that. And here again, I think I used the same fence, and the fence at the back I changed to, I'm pretty sure, being white, which you'll see in the screenshots at the end will show how it actually looks, as opposed to what you're seeing here, where I did, like I said, make those couple of changes. And but I do swap out those columns, and the columns stay the same, just I'm pretty sure I changed them to white is all I really do. And, you know, adding a little bit more terrain paint here. Pretty much that's all I'm really doing. And I am planning on actually doing a furnishing of this house for the two brothers, and I will have that up in 2 weeks as a speed furnish, so you can see what I've done with it at that point in time. And of course, at that point, I will have play tested it. It's kind of hard to play test an unfurnished house, and see right there, that's what I move out and fix up a little bit and add a fence to the back. So here it is on the gallery, the pictures sort of going through it, and I will link it to the gallery down below. I will also link to all the details that I'll have on my blog, which will have the details about, you know, the fact that you can do base game plus 1 pack of choice, or base game only, and the fact that there is, again, no budget, and the basement is optional to furnish, or you can furnish part of it. Sometimes I just like put a little bit of space and leave the rest to, like, for the family, the Sims to grow into. No custom content. And as I said, the floor plan on the main floor, since there's none in the basement, can be altered, and you can do it for my Jefferson brothers, who I will also have on the gallery, or for your own Sims. And use Furnish for Maple when sharing it on the gallery. And as I said, it's due by June 26, 2019, and I'm going to do a video that tours the homes that were submitted on July 3rd, 2019. But that's it for my speed build. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye! This has been Jennifer. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave them below. I'd love to see them. If you liked the video, please leave a like. And if you'd like to see more videos of challenge, let's plays, tutorials, and occasional speed builds, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thanks very much.